Hi folks, Monday morning, very warm in London. Been on a bike ride to a supermarket in about 3 miles away. Very hilly, managed to do it with a high gear, a fairly high gear, and beautiful day for it. Don't think I'd like to go out now. So here we are, I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. And wet the paper, no idea what we're going to do, probably I'll see if I can make this less muddy. I think I've been using too much Payne's Grey, but I'll give that a good wet because it will dry very quickly, I think, without the hairdryer. Right, okay, let's get a bit of nice background. Well, let's have a nice bit of red in with that. Now I need to put some in the foreground because that will reflect, although this will dry a lot lighter, so I've got to make allowances for that. Oh, there we are, that's enough. I might do a sort of a lake scene. I'm not a great lover of buildings, well, for myself. I appreciate what other people do with them, but they don't really grab me, other than the odd barn in the wood or just as an object, but as a subject, it's not for me. I prefer just landscape and texture. I love texture. I'll give old Stuart, where is Stuart, who I must say I learnt a lot from the 2-3 colour oil paintings. Sure. But anyway, he's of the same opinion for himself. He doesn't do build, or well, he mostly doesn't. It's all about texture and tone, and he's a man after my own heart. But he's got a far bigger interest in his work than mine. But what's Stuart? Anyway, well, let's get a bit of blue in. Bit of ultramarine. Okay, now we'll have, I'm going to use a bit of, my cloud is going to be a bit of burnt umber and a bit of that ultramarine. That's a good grey, good cloud grey, and it can be a little bit warm. Excuse me, a bit of hay fever I think, or at least there's a lot of pollen about. Now you can tell I'm right-handed because I sweep in from the right. Got that one there. Right, okay, that will do. Look, that's dried down there very quickly, but I'm going to go over that with the landscape. Let's just take the excess off. This is £90 Saunders Waterford, not, so it's not hot pressed, it's cold pressed. Super paper, does lovely things, but I don't really want a lot of wetting wet on that horizon, so I'm going to dry it. So take your headphones off. I'm only doing once a day. Okay, right, now we'll start to put a bit of background in there. Blue, we'll have a cold blue there, just with that blue and the ultramarine and burnt umber. More blue than brown. And we get a nice, this is my new hake. Oh, there we are. Now we'll put in a bit of, let's have a bit of sienna in there. Or a bit of burnt sienna. Just let that flood in a little bit. I love being on a bike. It's you see things that when you're in a car you wouldn't notice because you're sort of concentrated so much on other things and not crashing the gears. Okay, now let's put in a little bit of that, bit of sienna and a bit of sienna and a bit of blue. Go on there with that. Oh, let's have a bit of green now. We just bring this salt marsh. I love salt marsh, but I think to be really good at it, you need to live where salt marsh is, like North Norfolk. Plenty of it up there. Beautiful. Still a little bit wet, the paper. I'll clean the brush, I think. Picking up too much dirt. Right, I'm going to leave the Payne's grey out, I think, if I can. Use the blue. A lot of shops open this morning, but a lot of them aren't. Right, now I want to put some texture in there, so blue and sienna. Okay, let that dry, so let's come in lower down here. We'll have a bit of a water coming through just into the coast, so let's burnt sienna, no, burnt umber. Pull out the loose hairs. Got a bit of sienna in there now. Now let's get some green. Just a little bit of inlet there, nice and wet. And let's get a dark green. A bit of that sienna in there. So there's a dark green, bit of a bank there. Okay, let's just a bit of okay, now we can, this is all texturing. Let's go back to that horizon. Some heavy downpours for this afternoon, my word. Just cut the grass. Well, that's good because we have had very little rain in London or South London. Had some, but not enough to sort the mud out, or the caked earth now, which is now part of my lawn. It'll all come back. Those are dandelions. Even, I think we've got a lilac tree at the end of our garden, or in the middle of our garden, on the lawn bed, and the root seems to have spread underneath the lawn and is coming up all over the place. A bit of a nuisance. Okay, not sure I want to put too much in that, but I want to put some grasses in. Because marram grass, that's the stuff in sand and stuff, so let's get that nice. This doesn't, as you know, it doesn't hold water very, a lot of water, this brush. So no Payne's grey, just blue and yellow. Get a bit darker. So we have the grass coming out along there and drag down. Okay. It's too easy to, I mean, I'm guilty as anybody. It's too easy to use Payne's grey for a dark. I do it all the time, but it does, if you're not careful, it can make all your texture take on a muddy appearance. So I hope we can, sorry about that, this one, keep that dark. Oh, it's a horrible brush now. Just won't hold the water. Oh. Fill that in. Okay, let's see some here. Right, we'll put a little bit of a dune in there, I think, or something over here. So a bit of that burnt umber, bit of ultramarine, and we'll just go up here with that. Right, that's okay. We can put some grasses in there. So let's get our blue, our yellow, more blue. Let's go dark green. So instead of trees, I'm putting this grass in, the sort of marram grass that you see. And I got a nice good bluey green. Okay, that's a bit on here. Okay, put a bird in. A blue and brown bird. There's a little bit of a blob there. So we'll put that in there. Okay, I'll sign it. Got a little bit muddy there, but it's not as bad as it was. So I'll put my fairly dry. Okay. Put those on that one. So it's not the Norfolk coast because there aren't any great hills on the coast of Norfolk, but it could be Suffolk, around Suffolk, near the Deben, the river. I don't know. It's every man's river or estuary. Could put some. Might put some. Probably a bit of focal point. Let's put something on that horizon then. I've got some white there. I'll squeeze out a bit of white. I must have had this for 2 years. It's still going strong. Hasn't sort of seized up yet, the white gouache. With my little fine brush. There it is. Bit of water. Just a few little boats up here on the hard. Nice bit of wind in that. Okay, that'll do. I'll probably just even that up a little bit. Okay, that'll do. I don't want to do any more than that. There you go. Let's just zoom out as far as it'll go. Hope you like that one, folks. So no trees, just some indication of marram grass in the detail. Very simple foreground. But remember, texture and tone, they're the great things, and not overusing the Payne's grey. Thanks for watching. I'll get this uploaded and hope you enjoy it. Bye for now.